guns, smaller caliber, like 20, 30 caliber.
Now let's talk about the rear gate. I guess, do they call that a gate?
Well, actually, yeah, that's the front gate per se.
Okay, the front gate.
Yes.
So that's right, because when you come in frontwards this way to land
in the
personnel.
Yes. Yep.
Tell us a little bit about how it works.
It's cable, you know, drawn here. In the back here, there's an actual winch. I don't know if you can see it. And it's hand cranked. So one person can crank it up and down, or you can let it freewheel and let it fall down when you go into a beach.
So there's no pushing a button. This thing happens automatically. The troops got to do it on their own.
Yes, to crank it up. And some of them did install hydraulic little pumps that'll actually bring it up and down.
When I first saw this, is this thing actually seaworthy?
When we return, we'll see if this boat still floats, and we'll meet a former serviceman who was trained on a troop ship just like this one.
Welcome to the Town Fair Tire Recognition Award Series. Each week we're going to be giving away an award and recognize a classic car owner throughout New England. I'm here with Jim Giuliano. He's the Vice President of Marketing and Advertising for Town Fair Tire.
Paul, Town Fair Tire is a proud sponsor of the Recognition Award Series. At the end of the series, we're going to have a Town Fair Tire Choice Award winner for the $500 gift certificate.
It's going to be very exciting. Jim, I want to introduce you to Al Legato Jr., and he owns this 1973 Mustang.
Al, glad to meet you. Tell us a little bit about your car.
Okay, my car is a 1973 Mach 1, and it's all stock. It has factory ram air, and they used this type of car in the original Gone in 60 Seconds movie back in '73.
Well, it's a great looking car, and on behalf of Cruisin New England and Town Fair Tire, I'd like to present you with this award and a gift certificate. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Congratulations, Al.
Thank you very much.
Get to Town Fair Tire. You always get free mounting, free flat repair, free tire rotation, free snow tire changeover. Drive with confidence. Nobody beats Town Fair Tire. Nobody. Town Fair Tire.
We're at the annual Connecticut Military Vehicle Collectors Show in Chester, Connecticut. And while we were talking with Roy Gagney, the owner of this transport boat, we met Ed Robinson, a retired serviceman who knows this boat very, very well. This was the first boat he trained on while stationed in Norfolk, Virginia.
Now, the steering was done from inside where the motor is?
Yes, yes, definitely. This is right here, and it used to telescope up too, okay, because basically on the way into the beaches, all right, the guy would want to see where he was going to be going. He'd have to see over the top of the ramp. So he'd have one foot on the gunnel over there, and there used to be there was an engine box right here, and you put the other foot on the engine box right here. And you'd stand there with things stood right up like this, very high, and you just steer this thing going in. Now, when you get in close to the beaches, you now became a target. So what they used to do is they'd jump down, loosen it, drop the wheel back down again, so you wouldn't become so much of a target heading into the beaches.
And there was no protection here in the front of the guy who's steering the boat?
Nothing.
And you have to have pretty good balance to be able to steer one of these things standing up, going over all those waves. It's incredible.
Yeah.
And okay, so now as we move along down here, now I know this is where they stored their gear.
Yeah, they
a lot
would,
of their gear.
some of the stuff, yep, they would have in the hands. They could do it in there, yep.
And a real interesting point was that they actually would put a Jeep or two in here, I guess, huh?
Well, they put one, not
One
two.
Jeep?
Yeah,
Okay.
one Jeep would go in here, and so forth. They would carry, like I say, carry quite a bit. Like I say, 36 fully loaded combat troops heading into the beaches, and that's a load, because they're all in here and they're all crunched down low. Nobody's sticking their head up.
Well, the drivers got quite a responsibility.
They did.
And I can imagine what was going through their minds just before this thing landed.
So is the Intrepid still seaworthy? Looks like it might be ready to report for duty.
What is your most memorable thing of one of these boats?
Backing down out of the surf, because even on a good day, if it was just a mild surf, you'd be back there with the wheel. You'd be backing down, and what was really cool is even on if it wasn't really warm summer weather, the wave would hit the back of the boat. It'd all go straight up in the air and come down. You down there, you were soaked right down to your skin.
Getting wet, huh?
Oh, all day long. And we trained on these things 8 hours a day, all right, all day long. And we would come back in, and we were just soaked, shivering, you name it.
Now, here's a bike that really caught my eye. Not only is it a beautiful looking bike, but it has a special story. Ken Brissett, tell us about it.
Well, my father was a World War II MP, and he rode all over Europe, so I wanted to get him one of these before it was too late, you know. And so me and a buddy of mine, Pete, we started going all over New England looking for one. So finally one day he found one. He called me up because I found one. He goes, I go, where is he? He goes, Rolling Oak, Virginia. So I said, road trip, and off we went. And we brought it home for him, and we surprised my father with it, and he was in tears when we brought it home. He hadn't seen one in 60 years. And we kicked it over, off he went. And I didn't see him for like 20 minutes, and my mother was a little upset, but...
that was a gift of a lifetime. I'm sure you feel that.
It was the best thing I ever did for my father. I mean, it really was. It really made me feel good. And now I still get to have all the fun with it, too. So.
Every military show features collectibles. They call it militaria.
Well, on this blanket here, we have a handgun display of the handguns used in the Second World War, and then we have some of the rifle grenades and hand grenades that were used by the infantry in World War II with the rifles that they were launched and the carrying equipment. And this is an M9A1 anti-tank grenade. It's a very rare item, hard to find, and one of my prized possessions in my collection.
So how did they launch this?
They would take them and launch them off the end of this rifle by, say, placing it on this launcher. And then they would load a rifle grenade launching blank into the rifle, set the bubble at a 45-degree angle, and you could throw that 1,000 feet away. On the next tarp over, we have my bazooka collection, the M1 and the M9A1 bazookas, which was an anti-tank weapon in World War II.
Now, do people actually carry these around?
Yeah, these would be carried by one man. Yeah, a man would carry this, and his assistant would carry 9 rockets.
And how heavy is something like that?
The bazookas weigh about 17 pounds apiece, and the rockets are between 5 and 6 pounds each.
Now, what are these right here?
These are mortar rounds. That's a training round. This is what they would use to train the mortar crews. Instead of firing a live round that would cost more money, you could fire this over and over again.
For training purposes only?
For training purposes.
Okay, now over here we got something even larger.
Yeah, this is the M1 81mm mortar. It shoots about 6,000 yards. It fires these 15-pound rounds.
Now again, how do they transport something that heavy? Now, I know that's got to be a lot heavier than the other one.
These were issued with a Jeep and a trailer, but unfortunately you couldn't always take the Jeep and a trailer where you wanted to go, so crews would have to carry this at about 180 pounds. It was quite heavy.
Quite heavy. I wouldn't
and
want to
then
be
the
on that.
rounds, again, you'd carry 4 or 5 boxes of ammunition with you, quite heavy.
The military depended upon 5-ton trucks for transport to get them to the battlefield. And when we come back, we'll look at a prime example of this.
More of Cruisin' New England when we come back.
Tired of waiting for delivery of your classic car parts? You need NPD. National Parts Depot continues to be the nation's leading source for quality restoration parts and supplies for Ford Truck, Mustang, Camaro, Chevelle, and Firebird. With 4 strategically located superstores, you'll find everything you need shipped to your door within 1 to 3 business days. For your free catalog, visit NPD online or call toll-free. Don't be the last guy on the block to get your ride rolling. NPD takes the frustration out of restoration.
Find out what's happening. Get up-to-date information as I travel throughout New England and beyond. To get exclusive information and behind-the-scenes photos, join me on Facebook.
Aggie Machine Company provides vintage domestic engine components for the nostalgic automotive enthusiast. We manufacture our pistons in Southern California with old-school craftsmanship and modern technology. Visit Aggie.com. Ron's Auto Restoration and Sales, professional Corvette restorers for 25 years, specializing in early and mid-year Corvettes with mechanical and cosmetic upgrades for all years right up to the new C6. Call us at 800-524-6195 for all your Corvette needs.
Find out more about Cruisin New England Productions, our television show, car show series, and magazine. Visit our website at www.cruisindnewengland.com.
The Lars Anderson Auto Museum in Brookline, Massachusetts is the oldest car museum in New England. Open year-round, the museum hosts lawn events, lectures, and a variety of exhibits. Visit larsanderson.org.
The best mobile DJ entertainment for your next event. GaryJamesShow.com or 800-726-4216. Gary James Show from WMEX.
We're back at the Connecticut Military Vehicle Collectors Show. David Camp bought this 5-ton truck, restored it, and even added a new gun turret.
This is a 1972 AM General 5-ton cargo. This has a 250 Cummins motor, and it's all-wheel drive, on demand.
So this basically was used strictly for troops?
Troops and cargo.
And cargo. Now, how long have you had this vehicle?
I've had this about 5 years.
Okay, now, did you restore this yourself?
Yes, I did.
And how much work did you do on it?
I did not too much because it was in fairly good shape when I got it. I did the paint, some body work, and put the big tires on.
David, I'm standing here in a ring. What is it?
This is an M66 ring mount for a 50 caliber machine gun. This machine gun here is simulated fire. I added this after I bought the truck. I purchased it from a flea market.
Now, I understand that some of these 5-ton vehicles, they had them already on there for the military, and they also used them without it.
Correct.
So tell us why.
Well, the reason they wanted it is for convoy protection. But actually, these weren't very effective when we first went to Desert Storm because there's no protection around it for the gunner. It was a very dangerous position where you are right now.
David, let's talk about these tires. These are pretty serious rubbers.
Yes, these are Michelin 1620s. These are rated for 14,000 pounds each tire.
Unbelievable. So now you have the 510 vehicle and you can carry another 2 tons of whatever,
yeah.
Right?
Oh, more than that.
It's awesome, awesome. Now let's talk about the motor in this, okay? I mean, it takes quite a serious piece of equipment to pull something this heavy.
Yes, it does. This is a Cummins NHC 250. It's rated at 250 horsepower, but develops a lot of torque.
It could probably tow things too, does it?
Yes, it does. It has a pintle hitch in the back.